my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly.
So at this point, Obama pulls up to the campaign stop to Kamala Harris headquarters in Pennsylvania, and this is before he goes on to do a rally and speech. So the Democrats have basically pulled out the big dog. They said, "Look, we're not getting the traction that we think we were, or we think that we are. These polls is lying to the American people, trying to make it seem like the race is closer than what it really is." And Trump is absolutely trouncing her all across the board. J.D. Vance just got done beating up on Tim Walz inside of a debate, and they concerned that we don't have the same enthusiasm that Kamala Harris can generate versus what Barack Obama, he experienced in 2008 and in 2012. And so Obama feels the need to come and speak directly to the brothers, to the black men. He's never spoken to us before, never had any enthusiasm for us unless we were voting for him. Now they feel as though they can bamboozle us and hit us with the ooh-wop jabang, I should say, and the okie dokie a second time around, right? With a second candidate, and we're supposed to be enthusiastic about voting for Kamala Harris based off our identity politics instead of what's best for our country and instead of what's best for our family, instead of what's best for our people and our neighbors. And Democrats have been running this country as far as being in the White House for the last 12 to 16 years, including times that he was in there. And his enduring message was to the alphabet community. But we're going to get there, and we're going to play this whole thing, and then, you know, I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts. But the cameras is on, so this is not hidden. He's speaking specifically to us black men, and let's see what the message is. Okay, family, let's continue.
And say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you.
Then how come she ain't marry one of us? Obama is the new punching bag. They want to parade him around like he's the Messiah. Let's continue, man. We're gonna get more context to this, and as I react to it, and I'll let off my thoughts, like I said, as we continue.
Understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences. Who's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land.
Given to us.
And is putting forward concrete proposals.
She's not.
To directly address the things that are vital in our neighborhoods and our communities. From housing to making sure that our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents can afford medicine. And making sure that we are dealing with prices that are too high and rents that are too high, and are committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act, so everybody's got health care, and cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person. And you're thinking about sitting out? I'm not. coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president.
And he really thinks that he really spitting right now. Like, he really think he giving a game and spitting game. Like, we supposed to just digest that. And he think this is 2008 again. Well, we falling for this. And this is not his era. This is his... He really think that this is his era, and this is not his era. This is not 2008. This is 2024. So where he could talk to us, and we supposed to be inspired by your hope message, and when we could look at what happened over the last 3.5 years and compare it to what happened in 2016 through 2020, and when I do a compare and contrast, I realize that the opportunities were greater, and we had better times that we experienced over the last 3.5 years. But it's like, hey, family, black people. Let me tell you something, actually. Since he want to call out the black men and specifically black men, right, in particular. We're going to use a whole you don't want a woman to lead you type of idea. That's what he running with, trope. And then to justify, you use reverse psychology to get you to get out there and vote for a person that is completely incompetent? How you figure that? Completely incompetent. She admitted that she'll be no different than what Biden has implemented, and that she was in the room for overwhelming a majority of the decisions, especially the important ones that happened over the last 3.5 years. So we're supposed to ignore the record inflation. We're supposed to ignore all the proxy wars. We're supposed to ignore what's going on and happening in Israel. Ukraine, we're supposed to ignore. Just what recently happened with the Hurricane Helene situation. We're supposed to ignore the migrant crisis and just vote for her just because she black and she a woman and because she Democrat and because that's what our parents did before us that's led us down this issue and this trap and the problem area in the first place. This is your fault. Y'all have controlled the White House for the last 12 to 16 years, and the only time that we had troops coming home, the only time that we had unprecedented peace, the only time that we had prosperity, the only time that we got a tax cut, the only time we started talking about closing off our borders and building better walls, the only time that we was really, really dedicated to renegotiating the North American Free Trade Agreement and putting tariffs on China in order to save us from our industries, as our manufacturing base continued to leave the United States of America, was when Trump was in office. Now, we supposed to just be fools and simp out for our woman because of what you said? Sheesh, man. Come on now. Come on.
And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. And I think anybody you are talking to,
and coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that? No, we're not. We're telling you directly to your face, we identify with masculinity. We don't always 100% agree with every single thing that Trump says, but guess what? He says what he says, he feels what he feels, and he mean what he says. And we not willing to deal with another chameleon or a person that could sell you on hopes and dreams and don't have no way to pay for it and continue to throw us under the bus, while continuing to let unprecedented amount of migrants into this country to take over your cities, the towns, and we supposed to mobilize with you. Why? Because we black? Get the hell out of here, man. Wherever they found Obama, he need to go back to Chicago, where he from. He need to focus on building a library of books in his presidential library of full of... Just stay in your habitat. Don't come out. Wherever the hermit crab came out of, go back to a shell. That's all I got to say. I ain't never been so disappointed in Obama until this moment.
in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to in your house, in your family, at church, who is coming with that kind of attitude, I think you have to ask them, well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time.
God. Come on, man.
They've been raising us and working and having our backs. And when we get in trouble and the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength. Because
Look, man, no more simping. Trump 2024. Let's bring back masculinity. Let's bring back closing off our borders. Let's bring back focusing on America first. Let's bring back American manufacturing. Let's bring back focusing on bringing the best things of the past into the future. And we need to go back and make America great again. And I ain't never been more motivated in making sure that we mobilize but also tell the truth and we focus on getting the Republican Party elected. I'm not going back to that Democratic plantation, you feel me? With these liberal policies, especially from a person whose main purpose and whose main legacy is to advocate for a community that then replace you, black men, and replace the American people as a whole, from the civil rights movement over to the feminist movement, over to the whatever movement, etc. And now we got this migrant crisis. So we just got to wake up, man, and continue to embrace the truth and not be fooled to this messy propaganda-ish. Nobody care about what Obama think. I don't give a what Obama think, man. Look, at the end of the day, let me know you guys' thoughts, perspective, and insight down in the comments. Give this video a big thumbs up. Let the love supersede the hate. Spread that peace, love, and positivity, and always stand by the truth. The truth will set you free, right? On that note, family, peace.